So the definition of matter is the amount of stuff or particles in an object. So one thing about matter is that all matter has both mass and volume. And I want to go over these definitions to make sure you understand the difference and what these mean. So mass is the amount of matter in an object, so the number of particles. Volume is the space an object takes up. So here are my examples here. So I have these little squishy balls, and they're two different squishy balls. So the first one here, so you can kind of see them, they have like little particles inside it. So I want you to think about these little beads inside there as being matter. Okay, so all these beads are matter. So let's look at the definition. So mass is the amount of matter or particles in an object. So I have these two, A and B. Which one of these has the most mass? Hopefully that you said B. B is this one here. So it has much more particles inside here. So again, mass is the amount of matter in an object. So the more particles, the more mass. The volume is the space an object takes up. So you can see here with these two examples, this one right here takes up a lot more space than this one over here. So we would say that B has more volume than A. So A has less volume. So another thing before I stop this video, I wanted to show you when we talk about these particles, sometimes we draw pictures to help us understand what's going on in chemistry. And we can make things called a particle diagram. So for example, if I wanted to make a particle diagram for these two objects, I can make a circle to represent the object. So I'll make one much bigger. And then what I could do is make circles inside here to represent the particles. So here are my particles, and here are some particles in here. So notice when I make these particle diagrams, I'm making them to represent what I'm actually seeing. So notice I'm making this having a bigger volume than this one, and also having more particles. So this would tell me, if I'm looking at this diagram, that this has more mass and more volume than this one. Also, when we're talking about matter, and we're talking about how matter moves, which we'll talk about in our next section, we can actually show these particles moving. And how we would do this on a diagram is that we would make our circle to represent the matter, the particle, and then we can make a little tail on it to show its movement. So here I'm going to be making two particles. Okay, the top particle would be a particle moving slowly, and the bottom particle would be moving faster. So they have like little tails to show the direction that they're moving and also the speed. So notice the more tails you would put on it and the longer they are, they would be moving faster. So that's one way that if you wanted to draw out what's happening in an experiment or an example, you could draw this out for yourself using we call these whooshies, and attaching them to a particle. So we'll do more of these in the next section.